All right, so welcome back to Weaving with Ambrosia. Today we are working on some twisted fringes. I went ahead and put a heavy object on our funky fresh scarf here, so it's going to hold it in place as I pull to twist these fringes. And I have a fringe twister. You can do this by hand. Simply to do it by hand, you would grab a little section and just start twisting, and that would do the trick. Um, so in order to do a twisted fringe with a fringe twister though, we are actually going to use these little tongs, and mine's from Shacked, so it takes 3 little ends at a shot. Let me go ahead and grab these. So our bundles are actually going to have a total of 6 threads because they are grouped in 3, and our bundle of 3 because I did 20 ends per inch. So there's going to be 2 for each line, and then it'll total out to 6. So I have 6 in each one. I'm going to keep it nice and taut, and I'm actually going to go ahead and twist to the right to begin with. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you want to keep track of how many times you spin it because you need to spin all of them roughly the same. So I went ahead and did 15. I'm going to pull 2 of these off and pinch them all into one. Boop. And then I'm going to turn the opposite way. So now I'm going to turn to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I think I'm going to go with 8 because I like the way that looks. I feel like that has a nice twist to it. You can kind of see right there. And now I'm just going to take it off. Sorry. And then go ahead and do just a little overhand knot. Pull it tight. All right. So now, if you take a close look, you can see how that is twisted. And as I wash it, it will firm this up. And this is something you do before you wet finish. So let's go ahead and do a few more of these. Get the 15 twists. And when we wet finish this, this is what's going to set the twist. So right now, I have about 7 inches that I'm twisting. And I'm expecting it to shrink a little bit after I wet finish it. So it will likely will not be 7 inches long at the end. And also, to get a more professional finish once this is all done. I'm actually going to trim these little edges up, the little tassels, so that they're a little bit more even and they're close to the same length, and that will just look a little bit neater. And right now, the knots are fairly close to the same length. This one's a little bit longer, but they're not too terribly far apart. And the closer together, the closer to level they are, obviously, the better. Unless you're going for something that looks a little bit more funky, which is fine. It's your scarf. You do what you want. And let's go ahead and get this one. And let's get this one. All nice and taut. So click this one. All right, so what you will see is sometimes you have slightly more or slightly less threads or slightly more threads than what you normally would want. So right here, I only actually have 2 ends instead of 4. That's fine. I can just have one that's slightly smaller. And if it's just an extra, sometimes you can have one twist that's slightly thicker. Now, if it's like, 2 or 3, depending on your bundle size, if it's a lot, and that's not just like one, if it's more than that, then you may find that you want to start actually taking some bundles and making them just a little bit bigger. So moving some threads over so that it's a little bit more balanced and you're not having just one really big bundle and a bunch of normal size ones. You can actually start moving them over, or if you're only going to have one over here, you could just pull from a little bit from each, and then you'll have more even threads. But in this case, there wasn't a drastic difference, so we're going to go ahead and just call it a day. And that is our twisted fringes for this side. And we'll actually even all of this up after we finish it. We'll trim these ends and make them far more even. All right, so welcome back to Weaving with Ambrosia. In the last step of our fringes, I just take each one of these little fringes, measure finger length, and then cut off the excess. And I already did most of them. So at the end, you have these very neat looking tassels that are even all the way across. They flare about the same. This one has a little loose end right there, and then you just snip, and it's perfectly even. So Our funky fresh scarf is ready. And we'll kind of go through the whole process next week. Thanks for watching.